Hi everybody, my name is Sammy Dean and this is my digital resource evaluation. So I'm going to do an evaluation on two different resources today. The first one is called the Phonological Awareness Lab and the second one is called Vocabulary Spelling City. So I'm going to start with Phonological Awareness Lab. The Phonological Awareness Lab is a great resource for students to demonstrate their phonological awareness in an interactive, fun way. So as we see here, this is not just a typical phonological awareness activity. There's science involved, there's labs involved. It really makes the learning fun for kids. Kids tend to love experiments and to love these crazy things that are going on in this picture right here. So it really makes it engaging and motivating for the students, which is awesome. There's 4 different portions of the Phonological Awareness Lab. The first one is sentence segmentation and counting. The second one is blending syllables and sounds. The third one is rhyming identification, selection, and matching. And then the fourth one is syllable identification and counting. So there's many different avenues to go about this Phonological Awareness Lab. And depending on what the students really need additional practice on in terms of phonological awareness skills, it really allows you to focus on these different phonological awareness skills depending on what your students' individual needs are. So as we see here, it allows you to select activities. We have 4 activities here. We have the sentence experiment, decoding room, rhyming compound, and syllable x-ray. In the sentence experiment, gives students sentences and it allows them to explore sentence structures, counting different words and sentences to see how many sentences there are. The decoding room has blending syllables and blending sounds, so it really allows us to work on that blending aspect of phonological awareness. Our rhyming compound is great. This really focuses on rhyming, rhyming selection, rhyming matches, and then the fourth one is syllable x-ray. So this really allows us to dive deep into our different syllables. So as we see, this can be done on an iPad, this can be on an iPhone. This is showing you what it looks like on an iPad. So it takes up the whole screen. It's very interactive and fun for the students. There's a portion of it that looks like a video game, which students love. We have our crazy scientist right here, which really engages students. And as we scroll through this, we can see that it's just a very fun visual way for students to practice their phonological awareness skills. Additionally, there's a auditory portion of this program that really allows students to not only see pictures and to see different visual cues, but it allows them to auditory process these before they, practice their phonological awareness skills. So I can show you a quick tutorial of what this looks like.
Play button. Close the door. Now,
and so, as we see
that he's ready to get it, both very similar. The difference is here the student is blending syllables versus blending sounds. I'm just going to...
So it's really a lot of fun for kids.
Clown. Here the student needs to select the...
And as we see here, I want us to get back to right there. Okay. As we see right here, this is a student's phonological awareness lab profile, and it shows the date of the session, the date that the student completes a specific phonological awareness lab game, and it shows what the activity is focusing on, so if it's rhyming, if it's blending syllables, and it shows their accuracy, so it shows that in a %, which is great. If you look at the bottom right here, and it shows you the total different phonological awareness skills and their accuracy % on each of them. It's color-coded, so it's easy for teachers and students to understand what they need what students need additional help on and what they're really good at. So this is great because it really organizes the phonological awareness lab activities into one profile, and it allows the teacher to see what phonological awareness skills students need additional clarification and practice on, and which one they are perfecting, such as sentence experiment and blending syllables here. So now I'm going to move on to vocabulary spelling city. Um, and again, I've used vocabulary spelling city for many years in the classroom. I find this resource to be absolutely wonderful in teaching students vocabulary and teaching students spelling. It's a great resource for both teachers, students, and parents, as we can see. The one thing with Vocabulary Spelling City is there is an additional cost for a premium membership. So the premium membership is $59.95 a year. This also includes additional games and activities, so it's really just supplementing what is already given free. So if you look here to the right, to the left, you see word list and lessons, and it allows you to pick your content area. You can pick different vocabulary lessons, which is great. And it really allows you to dive deep into what you actually want to do with students. So I'm going to go to compound words, for example, and as you see, there's a visual component. So this really breaks down what the compound word is, what each part of the compound word means, and it allows students to process it on their own using visuals to help them. So that's a really great. There's also many different vocabulary lists. As we see, you can import to your computer. It connects it to the Common Core standard, so it depends on what you want. Informational text. There's also content area related vocabulary, academic vocabulary. So there's many different vocabulary lists and contexts for you to choose from. In terms of games, I think this is such a great way to get students to practice their vocabulary skills. The reason I'll show you, the reason why it is so important for students to use this skill and to have this skill is because it allows students to individualize their vocabulary learning. So all different types of students have different vocabulary needs. In my class in particularly, each student's vocabulary vocabulary sheet looks different from another student's. So this resource really allows you to individualize that. So as we see, there's many different free activities to participate in. I'm going to click on spelling test to start.
Get ready for the test. Don't forget. Comet. A comet, often called a dirty snowball, consists mainly of dust and ice.
So as we see, not only does it say the word, but it actually reads you the word in a different context, which is really awesome. So this really allows the student to have an additional ways to process and understand what the spelling word they are being asked to spell is. So I'm going to show one more. This is a flashcard.
Flip through your flashcards to study your words.
So this is a great way to practice vocabulary.
Nebula.
And you can just flip it, and as you see here, it'll show you the